Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Code 369, and we are learning JavaScript algorithms and data structures. This is a full stack development course and today is class 64. So we are learning JavaScript algorithms and data structures from freecodecamp website, and I have given link in the description box to access this website. And we have completed so many exercises. Now we are learning functional programming, and in that also we have completed 14 exercises of 24. Okay, so we are going to see use the reduce method to analyze data. Okay, first of all I will be completing the answer. Okay, and then I will be teaching you. So now I have completed the answer. Now I will be starting teaching you. Okay, first of all let us see from the first. So we can see a variable called watch list. Okay, and it is an array. Okay, this is an array and it has objects as the element. Okay, so this is the first object, and from this is the second object, and this is the third object. So it has objects like this. Okay, so the elements of this array are objects. Okay, all the elements of this array are objects. Okay, and these arrays are nothing but the information about the films. So this first object is the information about the film called Inception. Okay, and the second array is about the information of Interstellar movie. Okay, and then the third is the information about the Dark Knight movie. Okay, like this every object has the information about some movies. Okay, and then you can see a function here. Okay, you can see a function here which receives an argument of watch list. So what you can understand from here is, so this is the watch list array, okay, which has the information about the movies, and this is passed as the argument here. Okay, which is passed as the argument here. Then what we will be doing is we are going to write code, and let us see the question here. Use reduce method to find the average IMDb rating of the movies directed by Christopher Nolan. Okay, so what they are telling is we have to find the average IMDb rating of the movies which is directed by the Christopher Nolan. Okay, so in this object you can see the movie is directed by Christopher Nolan. Okay, and in the next object you can see the movie is directed by Christopher Nolan, and in the next object you can see the director is James Cameron. Okay, so some objects have different director, okay, other than Christopher Nolan. So some objects will be having directors other than Christopher Nolan. So we have to ignore them, because in the question they are saying we have to calculate the IMDb rating, average IMDb rating of movies directed by Christopher Nolan. Okay, so we have to filter the movies which are directed by Christopher Nolan. Okay, for that we are going to use filter method. So this is very simple. So we are creating a variable in which we are going to store the result. Okay, and this is the code which we are going to write. Okay, now what I am going to do is I am going to give the array name and I am going to use filter method on it. Okay, in order to filter the films which are directed by Christopher Nolan. Okay, so I am going to give the array name and I am going to give dot filter, and this film is nothing but the objects. Okay, each object, okay, each object will be passed with the name of the film. Okay, with the name of the film. Okay, and if we have to access the director property of that object, Okay, here you can see the director property of the object. Okay, this is the object and we are having the director property, and if we have to access the director property of that object, we have to give film.director. Okay, so film is nothing but the object. Okay, and we are giving condition for the filter here. Okay, film.director should be Christopher Nolan. Okay, so it will be filtering the objects which are having the director as Christopher Nolan, and it will be leaving the movies which are having directors other than Christopher Nolan. Okay, so finally what you can conclude is we are filtering the watch list array with the objects which are having Christopher Nolan as the director. Okay, the movies which are directed by other directors will be left. Okay, will be left out. That's it. So now you can see the result here. Okay, let me make it a comment. Okay, and see the result. So I have made all the other code as commented. Okay, so here you can see the result. Okay, here there is the array now. Okay, new array, and it has director of Christopher Nolan here, the first object, and in the second object also you can see the director Christopher Nolan, and in the third object also you can see the director Christopher Nolan, and in the fourth also you can see director as Christopher Nolan. Okay, the other objects which are having other directors are left. Okay, so let us see the next thing. Now we are going to use map method on the filtered array. Okay, so let us use map method now. So let me take this comment. Okay, now I'm using dot map on the filtered array. Okay, and this film is nothing but the object of the filtered array. Okay, each object of the filtered array will be passed with the name of film. Okay, and now what I am going to do is I'm going to use number method here. Okay, so why we are going to use number method? Because IMDb rating, you can see here, this is available in string, but we need it in a number. Okay, so we have to make it a number. So this is in a string, so we have to make it number. So how can I access this IMDb rating? I have to give the object name and I have to give dot IMDb rating. Okay, so like that I have given film.imdb rating. So now I can access IMDb rating. Okay, of each object, and I have used number method here. So this film.imdb rating will become a number now. Okay, so you can see the result here. So 8.8, 8.6, 9, 8.3, all these numbers were in string, but now it has become numbers. Okay, then I'm going to use reduce method. Okay, so what is reduce method? Let me see it. Okay, so you can see here reduce method returns a single value. So what you can infer from this is the reduce method always returns a single value. So you can see here there are two arguments passed here, total and num, but the return value will be a single value. Okay, and here also you can see there are total and num, but the result value will be a single value. Okay, so reduce method will always return a single value. That is what the function of reduce is. So let me take this comment out. Okay, and then I am going to be using reduce method here. Okay, so I have to make this comment after divide. Okay, sorry. So now I am using reduce method. So far what is the value you are having? You are having the IMDb ratings of movies directed by the Christopher Nolan. Okay. Now what you are going to do is, you are going to have the sum of these ratings. Okay. Sum of these ratings. So that is what you are going to have now. So what you are going to do is, you are going to use reduce method. Okay. So now in the reduce method, we are going to tell the reduce method how the method should work. For example, we are passing two arguments, and one is sum of ratings and another one is rating. Okay. And then what we will be doing is, we will be adding them. Okay. So now what we are doing is, we will be telling the reduce method how it should be working. For example, let us make it a command now. Okay. So this is what the IMDb ratings we have got from the map method. Okay. So now we have to add them. So now we are telling the reduce method to how to add. Okay. So what the reduce method will be doing is, it will be taking two numbers. For example, first of all, it will be taking 8.8 and 8.6. Okay. And then what it will be doing is, it will be assigning 8.8 as the sum of ratings and 8.6 as the rating. Okay. Then what it will be doing is, it will be adding the sum of ratings and the rating. So 8.8 and 8.6 will be added now. Okay. And the sum of it will be inserted at the beginning. For example, I write it here. Okay. Now the added array will become 17.4. Okay. And then comma, and then 9 comma 8.3. Okay. So you can see here, this 8.8 and 8.6 were taken as sum of ratings and rating, and they were added. Okay. Now it will be stored as 17.4 and the remaining elements will be there. Okay. And again what will be happening is, this 17.4 will be taken as sum of ratings and the 9 will be taken as rating. Okay. And then both of these will be added. Now the result will become 17.4 plus 9. So it will be 18.3. Okay. And finally what will happen is, this 18.3 will be taken as sum of ratings and 8.3 will be taken as rating, and they will be added and the result will be shown. And the result is 8.3 plus 8 is 26.3 and 26.9. Okay. So the final sum will be displayed as 26.9. Okay. So what the reduce method will be doing is, it will be executing this addition process until it gets a single value. Okay. Until it returns a single value. So that is the usage of reduce method. So let me take this comment out, and the result is different. Okay, I have done some mistakes, I think so. So what is the mistake? So let me make it comment again. So here if I add all these things, 8 plus 8 16, 16 plus 9 24, 25, and 25 plus 8 33. Okay. Then 33.8, 34.4 and 34.7. So that should be the value, 34.7. Okay. I have made some mistake in the addition. If you saw it, okay, please forgive me. So 34.7 will be the answer. Okay, that's it. So now we are having the output of 34.7. Now we are going to find the average. Okay. So how to find the average? So we are going to divide it using watchlist.filter of film dot director equal to Christopher Nolan dot length. Okay. So how can we find the average of something? For example, let me do it here. So let me do it in the comment itself. If I am having movies, if I am having 4 movies, okay, with a rating of 9 and then 8 and then 7 and then 6. So how can I find the average? I have to add all the ratings, okay, 9 plus 7 plus 8 plus 6. 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6, okay, you can take any way. And after adding this, what I have to do is I have to divide by the number of movies. So the number of movies is 4, okay. So that is what we have done here. Okay. We are finding how many movies were directed by Christopher Nolan, okay. So we will be taking this same thing, watchlist.filter, okay, this same thing. So what we are doing is we will be using filter method and we will be filtering what are all the movies directed by Christopher Nolan, okay. And after the ending of this filter method, we will be using dot length, okay. So this is nothing but we are filtering the movies which are directed by the Christopher Nolan, okay. This is same like what we did here, okay, and we are just giving dot length. So this filtered array, so we will be finding this filtered array of movies directed by Christopher Nolan, the length, okay, the length of this filtered array, how many movies were directed by Christopher Nolan. So this we are finding the length of this filtered array which was having the movies which are directed by Christopher Nolan, okay. So let us take this also. So now what will be happening is finally after this, so here you can see, so far we have the sum of ratings as 34.7 and if I take this comment out, now it will be having 8.675, okay. So it was now divided by the number of movies, that's it. Number of movies directed by Christopher Nolan. So press Ctrl Enter. So what happened? Okay. Use higher order functions, map, filter or reduce to solve a complex problem, okay. So let me complete the answer and then I will be explaining you very quickly. So this is a very simple, okay, simple problem. For example, what we have to do is, they are telling complete the code for the square list function, okay. The function should return a new array containing the squares of only the positive integers and okay. And here decimal numbers are not integers. So that is what they are saying. When an array of real numbers is passed to it. An example of an array of real numbers is -3, 4.8, 5, 3, 3, -3.2, all these things, okay. And one more thing which they are saying here is, not only this should not be a negative number, it also should not be a decimal, okay. So we have to convert it into an integer. So let us get into the code. So here there is a function and this receives an array. Okay, here you can see the array which is passed here. And then what we are going to do is we are going to return an array of squares. For example, we will be calculating the square of 3 and we will be returning 9. Okay, like that we are going to do. So first we are going to omit the negative numbers. Okay, for that we will be using filter, and for positive numbers like these, so here you can see there is array and there are numbers minus 3, 4.8, 5, 3, minus 3.2. The first condition here you can see the function should return a new array containing the squares of only the positive integers. Okay, so they are telling we should be calculating and returning the value, the square values of only the positive integers. Okay, and you can see the term here integers, positive integers, and here what they are saying is decimal numbers are not integers. So decimal numbers are also should be omitted. So here we are omitting the negative number and also decimal number. Okay, and this also should be omitted. So we will be having only two positive integers. They are 5 and 3. So here you are seeing the output of 25 and 9. Okay, so they are the squares of 5 and 3. So we have to write a function like that. Okay, so we have to filter this array. Okay, we have to filter this array and return the values only of positive integers. Okay, so we should omit the negative and also the decimal numbers. So for that we are using filter method on the array. Okay, and here we are giving num. So this num is nothing but the element of the array. Okay, every element of the array will be passed with the name of the num. So minus 3 will be passed as num here. Okay, and then 4.8 will be passed as num, and then 5 will be passed as num. Okay, so we are having num as the argument here, and we are giving the condition for the filter here. Okay, and that condition should be this number should be greater than 0. So we are ensuring whether it is a positive number. Okay, and we are using AND operator, and what we are saying is num modulus percent of num equal to 0. So this is actually for decimal. Okay, we are checking whether the number is a decimal or not. Okay, so whether we are checking whether the number is an integer or not. So for that we are using this condition. So how it works? So we are giving the number and we are dividing it with the modulus, and we are dividing with percent of num. Okay, so we have to see this very deeply. Okay, so here we will be having the num value. For example, we will be having minus 3. Okay, or let us say 4.8 for this condition. So we will be having 4.8 here. Okay, and we will be using modulus operator, and then we will be having percent of num. So now we have to know what is the usage of percent. Okay, so here you can see percent of string 10. Okay, and it will be returning 10. So percent parses a string and returns the first integer. Okay, so this 10, the string of 10 will be converted to 10. Okay, and this string of 10.00 will be converted to 10, and this is very important. The string of 10.33 will be converted to 10. Okay, so the numbers which are placed after the decimal, the numbers which are placed after this dot, okay, the decimal numbers, the decimal places will be omitted here. Okay, the string of 10.33 will be returned with the value of 10. So the decimal values are omitted here. Okay, so let us go to our concept here. Okay, So here if we take 4 point here, okay, 4.8, so here there will be 4.8, okay, the num will be 4.8, and we will be using modulus operator. So modulus operator is nothing but if this num is divided by percent of num using the modulus operator, it will be returning the remainder, okay, and our condition is this remainder should be equal to 0, okay. So here the num will be 4.8 and the percent of num will be only 4, okay. So now 4.8 will be divided by 4 and the remainder will be returned, okay. So let us see what will be the output using console.log of 4.8 modulus 4. So you will be having the output of 0.799999, okay, and this is not equal to 0. That is what you have to think here, okay. So we can conclude that this number is not an integer, okay. So this number is not an integer. That is what we can conclude from this, okay. So obviously 4.8 comes as the num here. This result will become false, okay. So this number will be omitted, okay, that's it. I hope you have understood the condition here. Okay, now you will be having the filtered list. So I am making it comment. Okay, I am deleting this also. Now you will be having the numbers of 5, 3. So this filtered list, so this filtered array will be having only 5 and 3, okay. All these -3, 4.8, -3.2 will be rejected, okay. Now I am going to be using map method. Okay, dot map of. So what will be happening is we had only 5 and 3, okay. So every element of that array, that filtered array 5, 3 will be passed with the name of num. For example, this 5 and 3 will be the filtered array and this 5 will be passed with the name of num, okay, and then this 3 will be passed with the name of num. Then what we will be doing is we will be using the math.power method, okay, math.power method, and we will be giving the number and we will be giving the power value, okay, that is square. So we are giving 2. Now the output will be 25 and 9. That's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Now we are going to sort an array alphabetically using the sort method, okay. So let me complete the answer and then I will be explaining you very clearly, okay. Actually what we have to do is we are having an array, okay, array of strings, then we have to sort them. Sort is nothing but we have to make it in ascending order, okay, alphabetical order. So A should come first and then if there is B, the B will be coming. So if there is C, so C will be coming next and then D will be coming, and if there is E, E will be coming. So A, B, C, D, E. So we have to make them arranged in alphabetical order, okay. So that is what sort method is. So here what we are going to do is we are going to make this ARR, array sort, okay. So we are using sort method on the array and we should be giving conditions here, okay. We have to create a function inside that sort method. So why we have to create a function inside the sort method? So we are telling the sort method that if you are having any two values, for example a comma b, you should be performing the operation like this, okay. That is what we are telling the sort method is. Actually we are giving hint to the sort method. So if you are getting any two values a comma b, you have to return a value based on this condition. So like that we are telling the sort method. Okay. And if you have to understand this sort method, this is little bit tricky, and sometimes wherever you search in the internet you will be getting confused. Okay. And let me tell you one trusted video, and you can access that and you can watch it, and you can be very easily understanding it. Okay. Type sort method in JavaScript in the YouTube search bar. Okay. And you will be getting many videos here, but I recommend you this video. Okay. Sort array method by Florin Pop. Okay, you can watch this video. I have watched this video and this is pretty understandable. Okay, so you will be easily understanding the sort method. Okay, after watching that video you can understand this concept very easily. For example, here in the return statement we have given, if a is equal to b, it should be returning the value of 0. Okay, and if a is not equal to b, it will be checking whether a is less than b. Okay, and if it is less than b, it will be returning the value of -1. And if a is not less than b, it will be returning the value of 1. Okay, and if you have completed watching that video, you will be easily understanding how this 0, -1 and 1 will make you sort these alphabets in alphabetical order. Okay, you will be easily understanding it. So only thing which you have to know here is how to give the condition here. Okay, so that is what you have to know. Press Ctrl Enter. Now we are going to see return a sorted array without changing the original array. Okay. So here we are receiving an array as an argument for the non-mutating sort function. Okay. And we are going to return the sorted array without changing the original array. Okay. So let us do it now. So what we are going to do is we are going to return, okay, the sorted array without changing the original array. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to create an empty array, and we are going to use concat method, and inside that we are going to give arr. Okay. And then let us print it and see what happens. Okay. Use console.log of, okay, this, and you will be getting an array 56329. Okay, and we are getting the values of the original array. Okay, but we are not returning the original array, we are returning the duplicate of it using the concat method. Okay, but now what we have to return is the sorted version of this duplicate array. Okay, so we have to use sort method here. So give dot sort of, okay, and we have to insert a function inside the sort method like what we did in the previous exercise. Okay, so give function, and it will be taking two parameters a and b, and it will be returning a minus b. Okay, so simply remember that if you have to make the array in ascending order, you have to give a minus b. Okay, so here you will be getting the result of 2 3 5 6 9. Okay, and if you have to make it in descending order, you have to give b minus a. Okay, so now we will be getting the descending order of it. Okay, 9 6 5 3 2. That's it. So press Ctrl Enter, and actually it needs to be in ascending order. Okay, so give a minus b. Now we are going to split a string into an array using split method. So already we know it, okay? We have already seen the split method in the algorithms, I think so, basic algorithms. So here what we have to do is use the split method inside the splitify function to split str into an array of words. The function should return the array. Note that the words are not always separated by spaces and the array should not contain punctuation, okay? So what they are saying is, note that the words are not always separated by spaces. So let us try it. So now what we are going to do is we are going to return this str, okay? So return str dot split off. So we are going to split using double quotes and a space, and let us see what will happen, okay? Console.log of, okay, this. And now we will be having words like hello and then world comma I am and code. So what you can see from here is every word, okay, that is finished with a space will be considered as a separate word here, okay, you can see here. So every word after ending with a space will be considered as a separate word. So here world I am and here there is space. So it will be considered as a separate word. But what they are saying is, note that the words are not always separated by spaces, okay? So we should not use this condition, okay? So if there is no comma here, it will be considered as a separate word. For example, you can see here. So hello will be a separate word, world will be a separate word, I am will be a separate word, like that, okay? You can see the output here. But here there is comma. So you have to use a different logic here. So what we are going to do is, we are going to use regular expressions here, okay? So if we have to add regular expressions, we have to use double slash, and inside of the double slash what I am going to give is, I am going to give /w, okay? /capital W. And now you will be having result hello world I am code, okay? So what the meaning here is, capital W means non-characters, it means non-digits, non-numbers, like that, okay? So whenever there is a non-character, for example space is a non-character, it is not a digit or a character, okay, or a alphabet. So whenever a non-character arises, this will be taken as a separate word. So here also there is a non-character, this is not a digit, not an alphabet. So this also will be considered as a separated word, okay? And here after I, we are having a non-character, so I will be considered as a separate word. And am and code, all these things are like that, okay? So press Ctrl Enter. Now combine an array into a string using the join method, okay? So what we are going to do is, we are going to combine the array into a string. So here you can see array is having hello and world, okay? And we are using arr.join, and this will be made as hello world, okay? Now use the join method among others inside the sentencify function to make a sentence from the words in the string str. The function should return a string, okay? For example, I like Star Wars would be converted to I like Star Wars, okay? For this challenge, do not use the replace method. So we should not use replace method at all, okay? So we have to use join method, that's it. So for this what we are going to do is, we are going to return, okay, str dot split. Okay, again we are going to use split method here. So why? Let me tell you. So give here /w, capital W, that is very important. Okay, so let me print the result now. Console.log of. Okay, now you will be having all the words separated. May the force be with you. Okay, so this string is separated without the special characters. Okay, so you can see like this. So now what we will be doing is we will be using join method. So give dot join and give double quotes and a space. Okay, now it has become may the force be with you. Okay, so why did we use split method here instead of directly using join method? So let us remove this and see what happens. And you can see error here. Okay, so let me tell you why. Because normally what we will be doing is I am declaring an array. Okay, and this array, what we will be doing is we will be having a string. For example, double quotes of A, comma, double quotes of B, comma, double quotes of C. Okay, then what I am doing is I am going to join this. So I am giving console.log of arr.join of double quotes, inside there is a space. Okay, so instead of this you can give apple and then banana and then carrot. Okay, like this you can give. Now we can see the result apple, banana, carrot. Okay, as a separate string. But it can be, okay, it can be done like this only if the strings are separated using the double quotes. Okay, if they are like this it can be done, but when you are directly doing it, it cannot be done. For example, I am giving console.log of str. Okay, and now you can see may the force be with you. Okay, this is what the actual str is, string. Okay, so the string is like this, so we cannot do anything with it. So we have to split it into non-special character string. Okay, like this we have to make it. So this string should be split into separate words without hyphen. Okay, that is what we have done here. We have used a split method here. Okay, so that's it. I'm sorry I have confused you, I think so, because, so let me make it simple. I think I have confused you. So here we are having a string. Okay, and we have to make this may the force be with you. Okay, so first of all we have to split this into separate words without this hyphen. Okay, so without this hyphen we are going to make this separate words. May the force be with you. Okay, and then after getting the result without hyphen we are going to use join method. That's it. Okay, now the words will be joined without hyphen. So that's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Now apply functional programming to convert strings to URL slugs. Okay, so what is mean by URL slugs? So you can see here. Okay, you can see here, this is an URL. Okay, and you can see the words are not separated with space. Okay, they are separated with hyphen. From here you can see. Okay, here you can see they are separated with hyphen and not with space. Okay, from here to here you can see, from here to here you can see all these are separated with hyphen and not spaces. So that is what we have to do here. So you can see the output here, winter is coming. Okay, so this should be returned with a hyphen here. Okay, and also one more thing, this URL is not having capital words in it. Okay, so all the words should be in small letters, that is also very important. Okay, so we have to do this now. So let me complete the answer and I will be explaining you very easily. Okay, so I have completed the answer and this is also very simple. So here we will be receiving an argument called title. Okay, and the title is nothing but this string. Okay, and we have to make this string like this. Here you can see winter is coming. So all the letters should be in small letter and also separated with a hyphen and not space. So like that we have to make. So what I am going to do is I am going to use first of all I will be using return statement. So I will be returning this. Okay, and this is nothing but let me make everything hyphen. Okay, like let me make everything comment. And also I am going to be printing the result, so you will be seeing it how this process is going on. So now what I have done here is this is the string which we are working with. Okay, and what I have done is I have given title dot to lowercase, so all the letters in the title will be made as small letters. So now you can see everything has become small letter. Okay, then what I am going to do is I am going to use trim method. So I have used a trim method here. Okay, so the benefit of using trim method is it will be removing the space from the left and the right hand. For example, if there is any unnecessary space at the beginning and at the end. Okay, so let me make it a comment, and you can see the output here, there is a large space here. Okay, and here also there will be some space. So the trim method removes the unwanted space at the beginning and also at the end. Okay, so I am going to use trim method now and you will be seeing the output. Now you can see the space has disappeared. Okay, there is no space in the left and right hand. Now what I am going to do is I am going to use split method. Okay, so I am going to be splitting all these words into an array using /s plus. Okay, I am going to use regular expressions. Okay, here you can see this is regular expression and I am using /s plus. So s is nothing but white space. Okay, s is nothing but white space. So whenever there is a word ending with white space, it will be separately added to the array. Okay, and s plus is nothing but there can be many number of spaces. For example, let us make space here. Okay, first we have to delete this space, this is not necessary. This is for the previous example that I gave. Okay, so let me give many spaces here. Okay, now you can be seeing the output like this. So even though there are many space here, okay, this mind and needs will be considered as separate words. Okay, even though this mind is ending with many spaces, this mind will be taken as a separate word. That's it. So that is why we are using /s plus. Okay, now remove this and now you will be seeing the output as a mind needs books like this. Okay, books like a sword needs a whetstone, all these things. So this is how it works. And then we are going to join it. Okay, we usually know how to join. We are going to use join method. and all these separate words are not going to be joined with white space. Okay, if it has to be joined with white space, we will be giving a white space here. Okay, but we have to join it with hyphen, so I'm giving hyphen inside it. And then let us remove this and press Ctrl Enter. So now we are having the output as we want. Okay, press Ctrl Enter. Now use the every method to check that every element in an array meets the criteria. Okay. So here you can see there is a numbers array and we are having some numbers inside it. So now we are going to use every method. So give numbers.every and we are going to insert a function inside it. Okay. So every method should be working like this function works. Okay, that's it. So every method will be working like how this function works. That's it. So the function is having current value and this current value should be less than 10. Okay. So the every method would return false here because not all the values of less than 10. Okay. So this become false. Sorry, what I did, I don't know. Delete this. Okay. Now what we have to do is we have to use every method here. Okay. Inside the check positive function to check if every element in ARR is positive. Okay. So now we have to check whether every element is positive or not. So now what we are going to use, what we are going to do is we are going to give ARR.every. So we are going to check whether every element of the ARR meets that criteria. Okay. So inside the every method we are going to define a function. Okay. And that function takes an argument of, let's say, x. Okay. And we are going to return if this x is greater than 0. Okay. So press Ctrl Enter. So here there is some error. So why? So the mistake what I have done here is actually return statement. I have missed it. Okay. So I have to give return statement here. So that's it. So this function should be returning this. Okay. So let us see the result. Console.log of, and simply it will be returning true or false. Okay. So this will become true or false. So true or false will be returned. That's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Now we are going to see sum method. Okay. Use the sum method to check that any elements in an array meets the criteria. Okay. In the previous example, in the previous exercise, we saw every element. So it will be returning true only if all the elements of that array will be meeting that criteria. Okay. But now we will be using sum method which will return true if sum of the elements meet the criteria. Okay. For example, they have declared an array here and they have used sum method, and inside the sum method they have inserted the function. So this function is inserted simply for the reason of if any value is taken, that value should be operated like this function. Okay, that is why. So this is just a hint. Okay, this is just a hint for the sum method to work. If any argument is received inside the sum method should be functioning like this. Okay, that is what we are giving hint for the sum method. So if the function receives current value as an input, it should return current value less than 10. Okay, so if sum of the value are less than 10, this whole sum method will become true. Okay, but in every element all the elements have to be meeting that criteria. Okay, but in some element only few of the elements or only one element meet its criteria, it will be returned true. Okay, it is not necessary that all the elements should meet this criteria. That's it. Now we have to check whether if any, so read it here, to check if any element is in ARR is positive. Okay, they are not telling us to check whether all the elements are positive or not. Okay, we have to check only if any element is positive or not. So we have to give return statement here, and we have to give ARR dot sum method. Okay, and we have to insert a function here, and the function will be taking an argument. Okay, and this will be returning x greater than 0. Okay, so if x greater than 0, so this x is nothing but the element of the array. For example, 1 will be taken as x, 2 will be taken as x, 3 will be taken as x. Okay, so here we can get x greater than 0 if any of the numbers in this array is greater than 0. This whole sum method will become true. Okay, that's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Now introduction to currying and partial application. Okay, the arity of a function is the number of arguments it requires. Okay, currying a function means to convert a function of n arity into n functions of arity 1. So in other words, it restructures a function, so it takes one argument and then returns another function that takes the next argument and so on. Okay, so here is an example. Here is a function which is taking two arguments x comma y and will be returning x plus y. So this is uncurried. Okay, but when it is curried, you can see the function will be taking x as argument and it will be returning function with y as argument. Okay, and it will be returning x plus y. This is what curried is. So here you can see it restructures a function, so it takes one argument, then returns another function that takes the next argument. So here first it will be taking one argument and it will be returning a function that takes another argument. Okay, that's it. So here fill in the body of the add function. So not only currying we are seeing here, partial application also. Okay, so here similarly so another thing which you have to see here is if we are writing an uncurried function, then how can we pass the value to the argument? So that is what we are going to see here. For example, we will be having const func for y equal to curried of 1. Okay, so this so what we are doing here is we are calling the curried function here. Okay, so here you can see the curried function. We are calling the curried function and we are giving the x value as 1. Okay, and then what we are doing is we are going to store it in a constant, okay, and then we are calling that constant and we are giving the value as 2, and this 2 will be considered as the value for y, okay. So now as the output you will be seeing 3, so this 1 plus 2 will be 3, that's it. Now similarly, partial application can be described as applying a few arguments to a function at a time and returning another function that is applied to more arguments. So here is an example. This is an impartial function which is taking x, y, z and returning x plus y plus z. And here we are creating a partial function. And here you can see we have created a constant called partial fn, and we are creating impartial dot bind of this comma 1 comma 2, okay, and while calling the function we are giving value as 10. So this 1 plus 2 and plus 10, this will be taking the result as 13. 1 plus 2 plus 10 as 13, okay. This is called a partial application. Fill in the body of the add function, so it uses currying to add parameters x, y and z, okay. So here we have to use currying, okay. So currying is nothing but all the arguments will be given inside the functions by placing another functions inside it, okay. So let us see it. So already we are receiving an argument called x, okay. So this 10 is nothing but x, 20 is y and 30 is z. So already we have received the argument of x. So now what we are going to do is we are going to add another function here, okay. So give function and this should be returned, okay. So give return statement here, return function of y, okay. Now it will be taking the argument of y and then open it and again return function of z, okay. Now we have received all the three arguments x, y, z. Now we are going to return adding them. So give x plus y plus z and let us call this, okay, console.log of, let us print it. So now we will be having the result of 60. That's it. Press Ctrl Enter. So now we have completed the functional programming also. Then we will be seeing the intermediate algorithm scripting. So that's it. So thank you for watching my videos, friends. Thank you for supporting me. Please do subscribe and let us see in the next videos. Thank you.